Welcome to this video. We are covering today the new out-of-process SDK released with the ACS 7.1. This SDK is different from the previous one. The existing Maven SDK remains versioned as 4.x and named as in-process SDK. This new SDK is versioned as 5.x and named as out-of-process SDK. While in-process SDK provides Maven archetypes to build AMP or jar add-ons to be deployed within Alfresco repository and Alfresco applications, out-of-process SDK provides client applications to interact with the Alfresco platform via the public REST API and also consuming messages from ActiveMQ. Note that when using the out-of-process SDK, no modification or addition is required to be deployed within the Alfresco WAR files. We are talking today about the Java client provided by the out-of-process SDK for the Alfresco REST API. Let's start reviewing some details related to this REST API. Alfresco REST API is described in the official documentation, available in docs.alfresco.com. Base URL includes alfresco/API/the name of your tenant, thus by default, public/alfresco and /versions/1 for the current version. The Alfresco REST API contains a number of APIs. Detailed documentation is provided in the API-Explorer application that is included by default in Alfresco repository deployments. The core API is available using the Alfresco path in the URL, and this API includes endpoints dealing with repository services like audit, actions, nodes, people, groups, sites, tags, and so on. Search API is available using the search path in the URL. This API provides searching capabilities and it supports different search syntax languages like FTS or CMIS, paging, sorting, filtering, faceting, and some other features related to queries in the platform. Authentication API is available using the authentication path in the URL. Since basic HTTP authentication is the default method, this API provides an additional authentication option based in tickets. Discovery API is available using the base URL, and this method provides basic information from an Alfresco repository like the repository version, the current status, and the different modules installed. The workflow API is available using the workflow path in the URL, and this API provides methods to deal with the processes and tasks in the repository, managed by the internal activity workflow engine. And finally, the model API is available using the Alfresco path in the URL. This API provides information relative to content models. Currently, this API can be used to get a list of aspects and types and to obtain details from a given aspect or type. Let's take a look now on some operational details for the different APIs. Alfresco official documentation includes details on different operations for the REST API, like managing folders, sites, people, and groups, or searching for content. Additionally, you can check the V1 REST API blog post series in the Alfresco Hub. Since the information is based in ACS 5.2, it's still relevant for latest versions of the product. Each blog post includes a Postman collection with running examples on the feature. That would help you to understand how that works. You can also build your custom REST API request by using the API Explorer application. Pick up the code you want to use, click on the Try Out button, and fill the required fields before clicking the Execute button. You will get the results, but also the exact URL you need to use in order to call to this operation. You can use this URL and method in some external tool like Postman in order to test the API. Just remember to include required credentials for the Alfresco basic authorization sector. With that, you are able also to get your result. Now that REST API essentials have been reviewed, let's move on to the out-of-process SDK features. The Alfresco Java SDK, that is the out-of-process SDK, includes a number of Java artifacts. REST API clients for the Alfresco repository and the Alfresco process application, and one event consumer for the Alfresco repository. Current version of this SDK is 5.1.2 to be used with ACS 7.1. We are focusing today on the Alfresco ACS Java REST API module that allows application to work with the ACS public REST API. This module allows to integrate Alfresco repository with external Java application. To build this external Java application, create a new Spring Boot application, and since the artifacts are not available in Maven Central, you need to add the Alfresco Nexus repository to your POM XML file. After that, just choose the module you want to use, Alfresco ACS Java REST API in our case, and add the dependency also to your POM XML file. Configuration for the Alfresco repository, mainly URL and credentials, are included in the default application properties file. Once the project is set up, API Spring Beans can be used from regular Java code to develop your integration with the platform. Let's create now a sample project to test that div. We are creating a simple project in order to test this Alfresco Java SDK, the REST API part. I'm using IntelliJ IDEA, but you can use any other ID for that. Let's create a sample Maven project, just default settings. And after that, we need to modify our POM XML file by default in order to add the Alfresco Maven repository, so we can get the artifacts from that. And also we need to add the dependency for the ACS Java REST API Spring Boot start. We can reload the project from that, and we can create the credentials for the Alfresco repository. In my case, I have installed that locally, so the application properties file just is default Spring Boot naming convention, and we can add the service URL and also the basic auth credentials for that. And we can create a starting class like our Alfresco app. This class should be an Spring Boot application. Spring Boot application, and we are using the command line runner. The simple command line runner. We are going to add the main method for this class. Yes, let's create that, and we can implement for that the main method. So with that, we have a basic command line runner Spring Boot application. And if I want to use the different APIs, we can use like this one, the Nodes API. We just not need to import this class. And with that, we are ready to use the Nodes API from Java with this class. We can like use the get node method. We can just leave that by default. We are getting the results from that, and probably this entry. Also, we need to import this class, and we can just print the results in order to check that is working. So get name, and we are ready to run. Yes, click on run, and we can see like this is really working fine. We are getting the expected result, that is the company home. If you want more details on that, then you can follow the documentation on the official out of process extension point. You have the REST API Java wrapper, and at this point you have like many different samples on how to use this kind of API beans inside your Java code. So with that, we are done today. We created a sample project using the new REST API, and also creating a simple invocation to that. Hope that was helpful. We will be covering the out of process for consuming ActiveMQ and asynchronous messages on following pods. But this is everything for now. So see you next time. Thanks.